we'll start with You Doodle and open it up, and you get options across the top. You go into File, Import Photograph from a camera roll, and it says Draw on top of a photograph. So I draw on top of a photograph, pick that, go into the camera roll, pick the photograph I want to use, which in this case is this one here. There's your arch. You can crop if you like, and click Done. Then you get the tool options. So I'll start with brush. I do the same sequence because it's undergraduate teaching, and I'll start by just drawing in the saddle areas. This is not that easy to do when I'm filming at the same time, but you get the gist. So one saddle there. This is great because the patient can see what you've got in mind, and as we know, the generic design sheets don't lend themselves that well to teeth that have moved around. So, outline the saddles, click on the fill. Stage 1, 1 minute. And stage 2, we put in the rest. Now normally you would have surveyed these casts, you know what you're up against. But if you want to show the patient it, draw it on the mouth, they've got a better idea of what's going on. So I'll always do support, and I go through the same sequence why we use blue, because it's the way I do it. So just pick the blue, click on that, and then just put your rest. Now, I'm just drawing this schematically. You'd have to check the occlusion, but I'm going to put a rest either side of the saddle for maximum support. So you're going to support on the molar, the premolar, on top of this crown. People worry about resting on crowns. I really don't know why. You don't need to cut rest seats into crowns. If there's enough occlusal clearance, use it. Do not grind rest seats into crowns. Now, I've drawn the 4 rests there, so each saddle's supported. Then click on the fill button, pick the right colour, and go to done, and then you just click, 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 and the rests are now all clearly defined in blue. Stage 2. Now stage 3, I would normally be doing clasps at this point. Now this is drawing, but also a couple of points of note. I always draw a clasp in gold. They're not always gold, but I just draw them in gold. I don't know if you need to check the bottom bar, but I do. Now you've got a crown on the molar here. I'm not going to put a clasp on that. It's been root filled by the middle through it by the looks of things as well. You've got 2 sound premolar teeth and a sound molar at the back, so they're probably okay to clasp. I draw gingerly approaching clasps. Any single rooted tooth, gingerly approaching clasps. So I'll come out the saddle here, and you don't need a full T-shaped gingerly approaching clasp. So in this case here, these will be wire. They wouldn't be cast cobalt chrome. So at that point, we've got 2 clasps. If you wanted to do another one, you could probably do one up here as well on the molar, because that looks like a relatively unrestored tooth. So we've got 3 clasps just in case. You could probably dispense with this one here if you wanted to. And you can see you can use the back button and get rid of them. So stage 2 done, stage 3 done. Now it should be the golden rule that if you're going to clasp teeth, you're going to have to reciprocate, otherwise the clasp is going to act orthodontally. The denture base, this is going to be a chrome, would be grey, so pick up the grey icon and draw some reciprocation in. It doesn't matter if it's arm or plate at this point. I would obviously prefer arm because it's going to be gingerly free. So just draw the arms in. This would have an arm as well up here. So you've now got reciprocated clasp teeth. So you've got 3 teeth with clasps on. They've all been reciprocated, signified in grey, in my case because it would be chrome. I will put an extra arm on here simply because I like a bit of lateral stability, and were this tooth to be lost, it makes it easier to add. We're not going to clasp that tooth, but a reciprocating arm just gives some lateral bracing. So the next stage, we've got all the support, we've got enough retention, we've got reciprocation. So that's fine. All we've got to do now is make a major connector. Now, because this is tooth-borne, it's not a free-end saddle, you do not need to make too big a major connector, but you do need to keep the major connector clear of the gingival tissues. So in this case, maybe this tooth will be lost, the molar here, so I'm going to bring the denture base back here just in case. And the great thing about this, you can just draw it again if you don't like what you've drawn. But the good thing with this is, to say, you can show your technician what you're after. So schematically drawn is difficult for me to do this because I'm looking down on this and trying to get the camera rolling. So that's the way I'm doing the major connector in the palate. A little bit of extra support is no bad thing. So the major connectors now look something like this. I always draw these on the cast as well, so the technician knows exactly what I want. Now, if you want to make this look pretty, join it all up so there's no gaps in the lines, otherwise you'll end up with a big grey page. So, major connector drawn in. Now you can add some refinement. If your brush strokes wants to be a bit thicker, there's a toolbar on here, you can make the brush as thick as you like. Click on that. I just want to tidy this up a bit here so it looks like the rest is joined to the denture base. And the same here, this is obviously denture base here. So it's all one thing. And then you can use the fill option. Now, fill gives you all sorts of shades as well, but that looks vaguely like a chrome to me, so I'll click on that. And there you have one denture base. That's how you draw a denture design on a photograph of the cast or a photograph of the mouth, so the patient can see roughly what you're planning, and so can the technician. It's as simple as that. So you don't have to use You Doodle. I use You Doodle because it works really well. And I'm used to it now, and I'd struggle to learn the new software, so that's fine. If you want to make it look really pretty, you can draw some teeth in. I'm not that bothered, but if you wanted to, and I've got a few moments left on this sequence here. So, you could draw a molar tooth on here. Like so. If you want to make it look arty, you can do that. And you can do the same on the other side. Give the lab an idea of what sort of teeth you want to put on here. And there you have it. Denture design on an app. Easy to communicate with the patient, easy to communicate with your lab. I hope that's useful.